So these are what I'm calling my three-quarter season playoff predictions. They're gonna differ a bunch from last time. I think my biggest miss was Cowboys making the playoffs, but I ended up being closer than I think a lot of people thought, especially some people in the comments. So I'm not a complete idiot for that. Like the Cowboys are obviously good, and if they had just won a couple of those closer ones early, I think they would be a playoff team. But they're not. They're not gonna make it. So first, for my AFC, I think the Patriots are going to be the one seed. They're currently two. Broncos are going to be two. They're currently one. I just think the Patriots are a little better. Jaguars, I think, will make the three seed. I think their lead is going to hold. Then Ravens, I think, are going to win their division. Bills are going to be the five. Chargers six. Texans seven. I don't think that's going to change. I went into the ESPN playoff machine and picked the games for the rest of the season, and this is what I ended up with. So I'm pretty confident about this. NFC, I think the Rams are going to keep the one. Packers 2, Eagles 3, Panthers 4. I do think the Eagles are not an amazing 3 seed, but yeah, I don't know. Panthers, I think, are going to win the division over the Buccaneers. They have those two head-to-head games. I think after that Saints game, it's clear the Bucks are not a playoff caliber team, but I don't know. We'll see on Thursday how they play against the Falcons. That could be a fun one. Those games were both shootouts last year, and the one at the beginning of this year was also really good when they played each other. Seahawks at 5, 49ers 6, Bears 7. Bears over Lions, I think. But I think it'll come down to the last game of the year. Who wins, who gets into that spot. I do think, yeah, I think the Bears are better. I don't know. I just do. I think their O-line is better. I think their running game, not necessarily their running game is better because Jameer Gibbs, but like their O-line is dominant. And they have the potential to just completely run a team down. Okay, so into the playoffs. First game on the docket, Bills Ravens. I think the Bills beat the Ravens. I think this is probably one of the most common picks, no matter if you have the Ravens or Steelers. I think the 5 seed Bills winning a road game is a very, very common selection among playoff predictions. And that's what I think will happen. I think 6 seeded Chargers beat the Jaguars. This one I think is a coin flip. I think the Jaguars could win this game, but when it's a coin flip, I think it's fun to pick the upset. And I don't know. I mean, these teams have played in the playoffs before. It was a crazy, amazing comeback by Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars, but I don't know. I don't see it happening again. But this is really a coin flip to me. But I'm gonna pick the Chargers here. And then Texans beat the Broncos. I love this upset. I really do think this will happen. I think the Texans are a really underrated team this year, and because they started 0-3, but if you look at just where they are now and who they've beaten, they are a monster team. They're pretty frightening. I think they're great. They could even win this division, man. I don't know. I like them a lot. All right, let's go to the NFC here. I think Seahawks beat the Panthers again, just like the Bills Ravens. I think the Seahawks beating the NFC South divisional winner is a pretty common choice. I think the 49ers will upset the Eagles. I think the Eagles are a one and done. Uh, I think this might have been a bolder prediction before they lost the last 3 games, but really, who looks better right now, right? Obviously, the 49ers look better. This isn't even that crazy of an upset, but it would be fun. It would be fun. Look, that's 5 road teams so far. That would be pretty cool. Will we get 6? No, I think the Packers beat the Bears. And then back on the AFC side, I think the Texans upset the Patriots. I think we're gonna have a 7th seed in the AFC Championship. I can sense it. I can feel it. I can see the future. This feels like recency bias, but I really do think the Texans defense is that good, and this would be pretty fun. On the other side, Bills beat the Chargers, and we have a 7-5 matchup in the AFC Championship. But first, let's go to the NFC Championship. In the divisional round, we have the 1-seeded Rams beating the 49ers. The Rams are better than the 49ers. That seems pretty like I feel like we know that. And then the Seahawks beat the Packers. We get a rematch of the. When do the Seahawks and Rams play? Do they play the last week of the year? No, I don't think so. But they do play soon. And they played each other, and it was pretty awesome. I do think, yeah, the Rams are going to beat them again to get the 1 seed, and I think they'll rematch in the NFC Championship for a potential Rams beating them 3 times. I don't know. I guess we'll see. That by the way, would be so sick if the Rams and Seahawks played each other 3 times this year. Like, really, that would be really awesome to watch. Anyway, the AFC. I have the Bills beating the Texans, winning the AFC. I think Josh Allen not having to go through Lamar or Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes, really especially Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, who seem to beat him in the playoffs a lot, is going to be humongous for him. And I think this is the year the Bills make the Super Bowl. I think the window is there. And then on the other side, the Rams beat the Seahawks for Rams Bills. That is my Super Bowl pick. That's what I think will happen. I think the Rams are going to take it, unfortunately for Josh Allen. And Stafford's going to win his second Super Bowl. He's going to win his first MVP, his first Super Bowl MVP. I think he'll get one this time. And I think he'll make the Hall of Fame. So those are my playoff predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll probably make a new one when we actually have the playoff bracket after the end of the season. But this is what I got so far. This is one of my favorite ones I've made in recent memory. I really like this one. I think it's plausible. And I think it's really close this year. The difference between the 7 seeds and 1 seeds this year is a lot closer than in years past. And I really do think this is the year where we have, something like 4 or 5 road games winning wildcard weekend, especially because those 5-4 matchups are so skewed toward the 5 seeds. And obviously so. The Bills are obviously better than the Ravens or Steelers, and the Seahawks are obviously better than the Panthers or Buccaneers, especially the Seahawks. So I think this is the year, guys. I think so. I think we're going to get it. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments.